Well, howdy, folks. It's time for Beyond the Smoke Barbecue Talk. So grab your drink of choice and come gather around the fire as we talk all things Beyond the Smoke. Featuring pitmaster chats from all your favorite names in barbecue. We chat about competitions, pits, meats, and everything in between. From barbecue to grilling, from trimming to smoking, we got you covered. Got questions? Let us know. We're always happy to hear from you. Thanks for coming, friend. We're glad you're here. Now sit back, relax, and let's talk some barbecue. It's time to go Beyond the Smoke.
What up? What up?
Going on, fellas?
How's it going?
Yeah, it's going.
Another beautiful Monday.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Episode 4. So we're on Monday night. So we're excited about this one. How's y'all's weekend go?
Pretty good, bro. Pretty good. Too fast.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
I heard Collin did his first KCBS.
Yep. First KCBS, man.
What do you think of that Red Raider event in Lubbock?
Man, I tell you what, I really like that KCBS cook hit. It was real laid back, it was a good time. The turn-in times were different, man. We were a little nervous on how we was going to do with that, but 30 minutes we did all right. Brisket, we were running a little bit behind. Sam came knocking on the door right at brisket turned in. I'm like, come on out here.
What was he asking for? A recipe?
Damn, bro.
How'd you end up?
Oh man, he had been ahead of us all day, so I thought maybe I missed him. So I went over there taking a piece of brisket, and what's up, man? Slice of brisket. Oh, shut the door, walked off. I'll take my ass back.
Nice.
What's that?
How'd you end up?
I finished 12th overall. Where'd you finish, Sam?
8th.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
Damn. That's what's up, guys. Way to represent.
Yeah,
41.
41 teams, huh?
Yeah, man.
Nice.
Big tear to my eye, boys.
Have you
Proud of you guys.
Have you ever cooked that Red Raider, Anthony? 3 times, huh?
3 times. Yeah.
What happened to you this weekend, bro?
Still my vehicle, a little Nano Q mobile, barely got it out of Hawk, man. Shit, it was all broke down.
Damn.
Yeah, she's back rolling though, so we'll be all right. We'll be hitting the competition circuit here pretty soon, bro. So.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Sure, yeah.
How's your weekend go, Sam? How did you do?
I was pretty good. 8th overall. Man, we just right there consistent. 16th chicken, 12th rib, which surprised the hell out of us because that rib sucked.
Would you drop it again in the coals, bro, or what?
No, man, it was almost like I didn't know how to look at pepper when I put it on, and I just doused it.
Hey, you walked it, man.
Nice.
Damn.
But Kyle got me a brisket this week, so Got to give it to him.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah,
I'd enjoy that.
That's awesome, guys. That's awesome. Always heard that Red Raider was a good event, so it's good to hear that y'all did represent out there. So pretty cool.
Absolutely.
Well, on today's episode, we've been talking about this for a while. Collin McElrath with he's the chairman for Texas Barbecue Bash, which is a pretty big event out here in Texas. Texas Barbecue Bash and the West Texas Barbecue Bash. I can't remember the date of the South Texas one, but I know the 2024 year just got completed on that one. So we'll talk about that. Anything else y'all want to bring up before we bring Collin in?
No, sir.
Have some real good information on this stuff. It's going to be cool. It's going to be cool.
I'm going to run this little video for the West Texas Barbecue Bash, and when we come back, we'll see y'all here in a little bit.
Have a good crowd tonight. I got a really good feeling, yeah. That the next few years are gonna be the best ones I find. Yeah, you can keep your opinions, oh boy, 'cause I'll never really need them when I'm flying up there in the sky. Flying way up high.
We're here with Piranha Scientific. We've been out here to the Barbecue Bash for the last 2 years and been the headline sponsor this year, and excited to be here.
I've been here before. This is my 4th year. I've been doing it since I started. I love the environment. The community comes together. The guys that put this on do an amazing job, and you can't beat the reason they're raising the money.
I'm really enjoying being here. I'll definitely be back next year.
Expect to be trying some of the best Texas barbecue in the great state of Texas.
Hello, West Texas. How you guys enjoying this so far? Let's hear it. But I'm running out of reasons to keep my head above the lines. You know what I've been sitting here thinking.
I want to thank all of our veterans here today. The red, white, and blue. Come on, give all of our veterans. Give our veterans stand up. EMS, everyone. Thank you. All of our first responders. We appreciate everything you do for us. Guys, now welcome our special guest on stage from Henry Hill Oil.
6568195. We got a winner. Congratulations. But don't worry, guys. If y'all want to enter, we have 2 more baskets. They're different, but they are for free. So go on and buy.
Starting today, I'm never gonna make any more excuses.
We were the first large event to be held in the state of Texas. COVID shut down. Since then, we've had 6 bashes, 2 in South Texas, and we've given back over $1 million to our communities.
Annual barbecue fest. Who is it? Because he's also the 4th annual back-to-back grand champion West Texas Barbecue Fest.
Wow. And there he is, Mr.
What's up?
McElrath. How's it going, Collin? Thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Thanks to the good Lord, we're here today. I appreciate you guys having me on. Thanks to all you guys. If that video don't get you hyped up for Texas barbecue bash, I don't know what does. You're sleeping,
Right?
Man, I gotta give it to you, man. That's a pretty awesome video, and man, it seems like you put on an awesome event, and that's I'm proud to say that you're on the show, man.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I know. Me and
Yes,
Collin,
sir.
we go back quite a few years. You know, thank you guys for the invitation.
Thanks. I appreciate you being on. So Collin, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, man. So, you know, I'm here today. It's kind of been a journey. You know, I live up in Oklahoma and third generation oil and gas worker, you know, born and raised in the oil and gas industry, and grandparents, parents, you know, worked these oil fields up here in Oklahoma for right out of high school, went to work, you know, and then ended up, man, it was like 2013. I struck out and went to North Dakota. You know, Kyle spent some time over too. We got a lot of good stories to share from working up there in the Bakken. And then, but I didn't meet Kyle up there. I worked up there 3 years and ended up transferring to West Texas in 2017, and that's I met Kyle out there. And, you know, we both work in construction trade. I'm a construction manager, same as Kyle. And I was working for a company, a private equity company out there, a company called Felix Energy, and WPX had acquired that company, and that's how I had met Kyle. We share and trade, sharing space in the industry, and that kind of segues into, you know, going to West Texas for work, and in 2017, 18, 19, you know, we were just, the industry was so booming out there. It was so busy, and I think as a group, and you know, in our department, we put in 2 million man hours in 2 years out there, 2018 and 19 in construction. I mean, we just chasing like 7 drilling rigs and building midstream gathering and upstream central tank batteries, just you know, and then I mean, you remember guys, like all the RV parks were full and the highways were packed, and 285 was, you know, what they called a suicide highway back then.
Still is,
right? Into 302, you know, it was a mess back then. But then, you know, life was great, right? We were making great money. Everybody was busy. Everybody you knew had great jobs. And then what happened in 2020? Right?
Yeah.
The COVID pandemic started creeping in on us, right? Price of oil crashed. Drilling rigs started stacking out. And I think at the peak of it in 19, I had like 28 or 30 pipeline inspectors working for me, you know, 300 something plus contracted personnel on the ground, and had eventually sent all those dudes home. You know, I was the last guy, had no projects. I was a construction superintendent, going out and sitting on line digs. You know, a third party line crossing would come in across the wire, and somebody need to go sit on that, witness that line dig. I would go do that because I had nothing else to do. Like it was feast or famine there for a while. I mean, it wasn't that long ago. You know, it was dire straits for us in the industry, and you know, and being a third generation guy, and you know, not definitely, you know, a second generation memorable. You know, my father was an oil and gas guy, worked on the rigs and stuff, and you know, and if you were born and raised in a patch, you've rode that roller coaster your whole life. You know, the ups and downs of the industry, and that's just part of being in the game. You know, it's like it comes in waves, right? We do great, and then it crashes and it builds back up. It's a boom and bust cycles, right? That's our career. It's our lives, you know. But then the pandemic came, and the whole world was in a bust, right? Like everybody else kind of knew what it felt like. You know, economy was shut down, and people were struggling, and you know, and I'm leading into how we created Texas Barbecue Bash. Actually, originally we created, before we created Texas Barbecue Bash, we created West Texas Barbecue Bash originally, and it happened through the COVID pandemic. It was in, you know, industry started slowing down in April, May. You know, we had some company man trailers set up on the property in the back, kind of like a man camp, private man camp set up, and we always would every evening, and we took one trailer on the end, we turned it into like a galley, and after work everybody would go down there and we'd cook and, you know, throw some cornhole bags, whatever, you know, just trying to, you know, keep our minds right. You know, it was a depressing time, you know, trying to stay positive, you know. And how do you do that? You know, like cooking is I know it is for you guys too, man. It's therapeutic for me. I love to cook. Right? I don't compete in comps yet. I'm getting rigged up to go try my hand in it this year. But I love to cook. I cook, 3, 4, 5 nights a week at home, and like, especially when I'm on the road away from the family, it's therapeutic for me. So we ended up cooking a lot during the pandemic for each other, and the restaurants were closed, right? You can't go to town and get a steak because everything was shut down, and we were at work, and I was in my office working, and one of our co-founders, he came through, and it was on a Friday, and this whole thing's been a real organic experience from the beginning. He came through, and he was like, "Hey, I'd already been in the grocery store that week, and I bought a couple slabs of ribs, and was going to cook them on Saturday for the guys." And a gentleman came through, and he said, it was on a Friday. He said, "Hey, I got some ribs I'm going to cook tomorrow." I said, "Well, shoot, I got some too." He's like, so you know what's up, right? He said,
"I'm better than you."
Exactly. He said, "You want to have a rib cook off?" And I was like, "I'm down. I'm a competitive guy, whether it's throwing cornhole bags or cooking or, being a construction manager, running festivals. Like, I want to be the best at whatever I do. I strive for that greatness, right? I want to be I want to be the grand champion. I was like, just like you guys do, right? You don't go compete to get called first, you go compete to get called last, and
to beat Kyle.
Right, to beat Kyle, right? Yeah. To go beat up on your barbecue homies, right?
Yeah.
So that Saturday, man, we said, all right, it's on, so we called some dudes we work with and say, hey, this is what we're doing. Turn ins at 6, and we need you guys to come over and, judge these ribs. But leading up to that day, we found out over there, you guys are familiar with that town of Pyote, Texas, a little dot, right? Like
great burgers,
right? Zooks, right? Everybody knows that. Don't get the double.
Too
much, right? But there used to be that restaurant there. You probably remember it. It's changed names quite a few times. The Black Gold Burrito used to be there, right across from that Quick Stop. And we had found out, May, June timeframe of 2020, that gentleman that owned that restaurant, there were some elderly folks in that town that whatever food he didn't sell that morning, he was giving to those people in the town, and it might have only been there one meal for the day. Elderly folks that were, one, they lacked transportation. Two, they were scared to hell to go out in public, period, because all they do is sit home watching the news, and they're scared to death they're going to go to town, and catch it, COVID, and die, right? I mean, I had fear mongering, and I had us all scared to death of masking mandates, and it was a terrible spot. And so we did that rib cook off, and I won. Yeah. So
clean sweep, he said.
Clean sweep, yeah, clean sweep. And it was such a great, like a team building exercise for us there in that room. Right, there was 5 of us there. We had their little rib competition. Then we brought the rest of the rib slabs out and cut them up and just started going to town on them. Had some cold drinks and eating those ribs, and it just like the energy in the room was just like, man, it's just like, it's something I can't even explain. It was like I was at the table,
something was there,
man. If something was there, brother, like it was, and it was like almost like a calling. It's hard to explain, man. It was like this emotion that came over me, and this feeling, and I looked up at the guys in the room, and I said, knowing, everything that was lingering, outside of that room in the world, in the town of Pyote, and, and then feeling blessed every day to be alive and be walking, and I still feel blessed to still have a job, knowing I know so many people,
yeah, for sure,
who are unemployed at that time, and like, it's about giving more than you get, right? Always give more than you get. We had jobs, but shoot. Let's do this again. Let's do something down at the park in Pyote. We'll get some vendors involved, and I had that thought. I was like, being a company man in the industry, I've always had these vendors that want to come out and cook your jobs, and they always think they're better than the guy that was there last month. You tell
right.
you tell them, they're, oh no, we're
right.
And you guys know that too, right? Being industry guys, and it's the truth of the matter. Everybody's proud of their stuff, and you should be. If you ain't proud of it, don't be doing it. Like, try hard and be the best. And So it was like, hey, let's do a vendor cook-off, right? Let's get some oil and gas, whatever vendors we do have still working for us. Maybe we'll get 4 or 5 vendors involved in it, and we were going to compete in it too originally. Like that was the thought. Like, oh, I mean, it was so much fun, right? Like competing in and I just won too, right? So I'm like, I'm on the winner's high, I'm feeling the high of that too. Like I'm gonna go win again, So we rally up and we're like, hey, we come up with a name, and I sent a text or an email to one of my buddies, a graphic guy up in Oklahoma City, told him what we were doing, and I mean, just the next day he wasn't doing nothing either. And it wasn't even 24 hours later, he sent me that logo example, and I was like, we went with it, came up with that idea, and within 72 hours, we had a logo, had a flyer, great logo, right? I mean, my buddy Robbie, now I'll give him a shout out. Vibe, he's amazing. He still does a lot of our merch and stuff for us, does our t-shirts, and does this poster back here behind me. He does all of our graphics, all of our flyers like that. He's an amazing artist, Robbie. But we went after it, right? Let's do this. West Texas Barbecue Bash. Went on LinkedIn, started advertising it. Started going out. I think we went out, sent guys out 100-mile radius, putting flyers out, gas stations, grocery stores, right? Promoting it, right? Being a promoter, like marketing it and trying to get the word out, right? I used to say, like, it ain't like Field of Dreams. If you build it, they'll come. They ain't going to show up if you don't tell them about it.
Right.
That's it.
It ain't like that. You got to promote. And that's part of, you see how we are with the barbecue bash with like that video, that intro video. I mean, that's part of the promotion, right? Like trying to hype it up and try to get the word out and get people excited about it, right? And so we went into that 2020 and it was like, we got down there and man, we hyped this thing up big time. There wasn't nothing else going on. And they moved us. They wouldn't let us do it at Pio. They said, no, we're going to move you to Monahans, to the Ward County Arena. Because, they was like, if you don't know, everybody's talking about this. And everybody showed up too. I think 2020, October 2020, we had 3,500, 4,000 people show up at this thing. It was amazing. And it was so funny because like originally we were like, oh man, maybe we'll get 4 or 5 cook teams. Yeah, Junior Riz, man, he came out.
The man,
the West Texas legend. That was awesome. That's a great picture. I cherish that moment there, man. Junior was fabulous. He came out. Back then we were doing the raffle tickets like IBC or Lone Star, and Junior came out and got up on the stage and called out all the barbecue winners. It was pretty cool having him there. I'm gonna reach out to him, and it's our 5th annual this year. It's about time he makes a show and he shows his face again. So see if we can get him back out. We got a car show too now, so I know he's got some cars.
Oh yeah,
so.
yeah. He's big. He's big in the hot rods. So
yeah, we got to reach out to him, guys, and yeah, it's cool. Absolutely. So 2020 was awesome, man. We blew it out and created this no-touch event. COVID pandemic, had to get approval from the governor's office. We were the only large event, like George says in the video. We were the only game in town. It was pretty cool, and that was a pretty great moment. We didn't know what we were getting ourselves into. I'd never even been to a cook-off before. Never had held a festival. But I wanted to help people, to put my project management skills to use, and created myself another project.
Yeah. So what does that look like with the no touch and handing out barbecue and stuff?
That's right. Yeah. So during the pandemic, right, there's a 6-foot separation rule, social distancing. We went to the county commissioner's office and told them what we wanted to do. And their automatic reaction was like, "You guys are crazy. You guys are idiots." They're like, for real, you guys realize you're wanting to host an event, an outdoor public event. They're in the middle of we're in a pandemic. And oh man, it's a couple of days later, they said, well, you know what? Ward County's a pretty conservative county. They said, submit us a COVID-19 contingency plan. Submit that to us. And then within a few days, we'd submitted that plan. And it's like a 10-page document, created a no-touch event with health screenings. And I think it's like, all right. They were like, oh crap, these guys are serious. They really want to do this. Like, yeah, we're for real. We're professionals by trade, and we're taking a professional avenue on this as well. We run these events just like we do projects in the oil and gas industry. We have HSE, we got project managers, we got directors, we got superintendents, we got foremen. Like structured, right? It's professional, right? Just like that's the only way we know to do it. And So the county judge was like, he got nervous, so he sent it down to Governor Abbott's office, and the governor gave us approval to run that event, and they let us have it. And they said
That's huge.
it was huge, yeah, right. It was huge, but they said, but you better follow the rules. If you don't abide by your plan, we're gonna lock your asses up.
Wow.
No pressure. No pressure.
No pressure, right? We went with it. Yeah. And there was and to our knowledge, there was no COVID that would track back to that event. So
That's impressive.
it was impressive. So single serving dishes, right? So that's how we created, kind of falls back to the town of Pyote and wanting to feed people and whatnot, right? Originally we were a 3-meat competition, but we also do something that's kind of unique at Texas Barbecue Bash. We do people's choice, and like I said, I haven't been to a bunch of comps and stuff. I know there are others. I've been to Austin Rodeo. I've been to that barbecue comp, and I know they do a little bit of serving food to the public there for donations, and it's like on a time basis. Certain teams during the day serve. Not everybody does, but our events. We're a 4-meat now, but we also do people's choice, and people's choice, it actually is the only category that you are required to compete in, because that's how we serve the food free to the public, right? And that's charity in its own. There, we're providing free entertainment, free beer, water, free food, car show, bouncy houses, petting zoo. In South Texas, we got kids fishing pond. We got, there's a ton of things that we're providing to the public for free.
Huge. That's huge, man.
It's huge, right?
Yeah.
It's huge. But it's guys like myself and the committees and the volunteers, there's the core group, there's probably 8 of us, but it's everybody, and I labeled that, I kind of coined that phrase, it's the cook teams and the sponsors. You are Texas Barbecue Bash. It's not me. I may have came up with the idea and I promote the crap out of it and kind of become the face of it. But I'm not Texas Barbecue Bash. It's the cook teams and the promoters. Without you guys cooking and the promoters, that stuff we give away for free, it ain't for free. Right. Somebody's paying for it, right? And it's the sponsors. It's oil and gas companies, Devon, ConocoPhillips. All your welding fabrication companies, Wildcat Oil Tools, and we've got a list of about 40 or 50 companies get involved in these events to, sponsor light towers, sponsor the Porta Johns. It's a 100% sponsored event. We don't have any money. All the money we have is money that's given to us. We go out and raise capital to fund this event, so we can give it all to the community for free. And it's all tax write off. So it's a win-win.
Absolutely.
How many people does it take to run one?
Oh man, it takes about 20 staff members probably now, and probably additionally on top of that about 20 or 30 more volunteers. Yeah, it's amazing.
How many people did y'all get, or do y'all even know about how many people y'all had last year?
Yeah, we lost count, but we estimate last year in West Texas we had around 7,500, maybe 8,000 people in attendance.
Wow.
And that's from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. So at any point in time, you're averaging, 800 to 1,000 people. That's the public gate, right? Not including cook teams, right? So last year in West Texas, we had 41 cook teams. And I think we can average, about 5 head per team. So right there, 41 times 5 plus the public gate. Another 50 staff and volunteers. You're bumping up, inside the fence, total 9,000, 10,000 people.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty big for Monahans.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah, we're doubling the population on Saturday, right?
And not including the traffic that's going through. As we all know, we're all like I said, in the industry. Monahans is just a drive-through pretty much.
Yeah.
But he's driving through it, so I could imagine, seeing that over there at the convention center or whatever, and
yes, sir,
wanting to stop. So that's awesome, man.
Yeah, we take all that serious too, right? Emergency response plans. We have sit-down meetings with the county officials, with the Chamber of Commerce. We have those meetings, right? Just like we're going to go kick off a project, right? The Friday before the event, we'll have a circle up with all the county officials, the local law enforcement, EMS, fire. Talk about how many people we're expecting to come into town. It's pretty neat, man.
Yeah. So what what all do you guys give back to in the city of Monahans, right? I mean, I know you guys are giving back a lot of money there in Monahans, but what is like the big charities that you guys, I would say charities that you're giving back to?
Yeah, the two big nonprofits are number one is the Monahans Kid Zone. It's a Boys and Girls Club there in Monahans, and they're working on funding a new building. They need a new building for the Kid Zone, and we're putting all of the money that we give to the Kid Zone goes toward that, help them get that new building constructed. And then the second half of the funds that we donate there in Monahans are to the Monahans Volunteer Fire Department.
Wow, awesome.
So, last year in West Texas, like I said, we estimate around 7,500 people come to the public gate for free, right? They come in, there's no gate. We don't charge them to park. It's free entry, free food, but everything has a value, right? You can attach a value to each one of those people coming through the gate. And you think about, you're coming to an event like of this size, of this magnitude, and you're getting all this free, amazing appetizer, barbecue food, car show, and all this, the music festival. If you're going to go to something like that, what would you pay for a ticket to get in the gate there? What do you think a promoter would charge for that? We're talking unlimited food and beer.
40, 50 bucks.
Yeah.
Music festival, right?
Yeah.
Especially around here,
right? So you can say $50, easy math, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you got 7,000 people come to the gate. How much money is that, right? You're getting up $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 in charity, right? Donated to the community in form of free entertainment and free food and all that, right? So, people talk about, well, how much money did you donate? Well, we donated some money, but the bigger part of the organization is we're hosting this event. And there's a lot of charity involved in that, right? It's through all these companies that donate and sponsor all this. And, I'm putting in a couple hundred man hours of volunteer work for each one of these events, planning it and promoting it. And we still have $50,000 left over to donate to charity after it was all said and done. Yeah.
And as it gets bigger, you got to be facing more and more hurdles, as each year comes. I mean, it's crazy to think that you're in year 5 already. Those hurdles are getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, I think right now, something I worry about is like promote. Like obviously, like this event, this organization has grown. Looking at the numbers from your first year, 2020, we had around 26 cook teams come. 3,000, 3,500 people. The next year, we had, I think, 28 or 30 teams. We added a few more teams. A few more, couple hundred people. This thing is growing every year. From first year, first annual event, 26 teams. The fourth annual event, 41 teams.
Oh wow!
We over doubled the amount of cook teams in 4 years, and that's without the help of CBA or IBCA or KCBS. That's we're considered a closed event, right? CBA doesn't help bring us teams. We get all of our own cook teams signed up, oil and gas industry teams, right? We promote the crap out of this thing, and the crowd's getting bigger, right? Like, and we're giving away this free food. And I have this worry, I have this concern, like, what if we have 15,000 people show up wanting to get free food, and we only have 20 teams show up to cook?
Right.
We're in a spot. We're gonna run out of food in an hour.
Cut small pieces, brother.
Yeah,
for sure.
Awesome. One of my questions is like, how do teams qualify to be able to enter?
So it's really pretty simple, man. Like I said, we originally kicked this off as an oil and gas vendor cook-off. It's energy upstream or midstream companies, and then vendors. Anybody associated with the industry. And then we kind of changed that to we changed the verbiage of it. Anybody can come and cook. You just can't cook under your cook team's name that you cook under every weekend. You have to get it sponsored by a company that's in the oil and gas industry, and you can come run their pit for them. And cook under that company's name.
Like, so for instance, like I work for Energy Transfer midstream something.
Yep.
So like it'd be like a company based sponsored event.
Exactly.
So if they sponsored me, I could cook under the banner.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha.
And it's a tax write-off for the company because it's all charitable donation.
Yeah.
All the food you have to go buy, you go buy the brisket, chicken, the ribs, the pork bud, all the food, all the trays you buy for People's Choice, all write-off.
Awesome.
That's great.
And companies in the oil and gas industry, that they need charitable write-offs, right? So it works, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, right?
They love that.
They love it. So, I know there's been some hang up with that. Like, how do we get? It's not really that difficult, guys. Just if maybe you don't work for that company or you don't work in the industry. I mean, you got to know somebody who does, or try to find somebody who does. It just matters how bad you want to get it out. We voted on it last year. We talked about opening it up, but it really goes against about who we are. And it's a pure oil and gas event, right? And all of the committee, all the officers, all the sponsors, everybody who coordinates and runs this, we all work in the industry, and it's a pure oil and gas event, right? And if we open the cook-off up to the public, then it's not anymore. It kind of dilutes those waters, right? To be a pure oil and gas event, and being a third generation oil and gas guy, that's where my heart's at, with the West Texas and South Texas barbecue bashes. Being in the Delaware Basin and being down in the Eagle Ford, we're in the heart of these plays and getting a lot of good support.
I got a question for you, Collin. Who puts on the better party, South Texas or West Texas?
Come on now.
Put him on the spot.
Man, people know me. I'm an honest guy. I tell it how it is.
He's going to say South Texas.
West Texas.
Oh! Nice.
And I say this, West Texas got a couple more years on it. So it's a little bit more of a mature event, right? It's 5th annual. We're 3rd annual down there. It's got a little more growth. Like the South Texas, we just held our 3rd annual, and it had a different feel this year. Like it really had stood itself up, right? Your first year, man, that's a flip of the coin. Are we going to be back next year or not, right? And then the second year, there's so many people didn't hear about it, and now that thing down there in Kennedy is growing like crazy. It's going to be an awesome event here in a couple years.
Yeah, it seems like it is. I saw a lot of stuff online about it in South Texas, and man, it looks like a great event also, man. So
yeah, it's
Kevin's
awesome.
Kevin's down there disagreeing. He's saying South Texas.
You knew that was going to happen, though.
I'm not looking at the chat, but Kevin Hernandez, he's in here. I know Kevin pretty good, man. We hung out a little bit, and I got the pleasure to go hang out with him last year when he was up here for cooking for Cowboy over there in Midland. I hung out with him and Bobby, and got to learn a few tips and tricks from those guys. Kind of behind the scenes. Got to be in their camp with them. It was pretty cool seeing some. I mean, they blew my mind at some stuff they were doing, and I was like, man, this is really cool stuff, man. These guys are pros at this. Like, it was pretty impressive. But
there you go.
I first met Kevin and Bobby. I knew Bobby already because I knew Bobby. There's my boys right there. I've known Bobby for quite a while through the industry, and he had came out, and I think it was the 2nd annual West Texas. Bobby came out, and he cooked with CB. You guys know CB Barboza with Dirty Smoke, and CB works for Hard Rock, and he came out and cooked with CB, and I met Bobby, and then we went to South Texas for our 2nd annual South Texas Barbecue Bash. And we'd done our 1st annual West Texas, our 1st annual, we were on our 3rd event in West Texas, and we had just been non-sanctioned up to that point. Like when we back in 2020, when we came up with the idea to do it, I was like, man, we gotta start checking some boxes here. Right? We need a venue, we need a name, we need judging, and I got my uncle Dwayne Sabrance lives out in Coleman, Texas, and I've known my uncle Dwayne. I love that man so much. He's a kind of legend around them parts, and he'd been cooking Lone Star and IBCA for like 40 years, and I knew that immediately. I was like, I know who to get to help me do the judging. I'll call Uncle Dwayne, And he came out and he brought some Lone Star judging sheets and said, "Hey, this is what we'll do." And we just ran one judging table and 26 teams, one table, non-sanctioned event, but we were running it by the rules, non-sanctioned. It wasn't just fly by night. We had some guys my aunt and uncle in the judging room that knew what they were doing. They'd been judging and cooking for 30, 40 plus years and getting down on it. But as the event was growing, right, and as the organization was growing, we got down to South Texas, and I had been looking at IBCA and Lone Star and CBA, looking at maybe, going and sanctioning the organization. But I had some reservations. I was like, well, number one, if I sanction it, do I have to open it up to the public, right? Can we not still keep it oil and gas only? And then number two, we wanted to be able to keep doing people's choice, right? We want to be able to serve the food to the public, and got down to South Texas and second annual, and we had some heavy hitters show up there. Cook, Bobby was there, Kevin, Matthias Serrata down out of Beeville. Cliff Archer was there, and we had a bunch of these South Texas. It was our second annual, right? They had got wind of this pretty cool cook-off in Karn City, Kennedy area. They wanted to come check it out, right? And they showed up, and they come cook some dudes that, I consider, Kevin was world champ last year, CBA, right? He came number one, right? Bobby was chicken champ 2 years ago, and Matthias. We had some dudes who knew how to cook, and they came, and they're like, we were still at that point in time. We were still unsanctioned. We were just doing an overall. It was a 3 meet, and we were scoring it just overall cumulative score. We had 5. It was still just one table. We had 6 judges on one table, and it was 10 was a perfect score. Max score could be 60 if you got all perfect scores. And then we were just totaling it up, 5 times whatever the score was, and whoever had the highest, total cumulative score, right? And but we were only scoring the top 10. We weren't taking the time to, because it was all notepad and pen and paper.
Right,
I were
right.
calculator,
Right.
It wasn't like CBA. I love that, right? So we weren't taking the time to calculate, hand write out all 40 team scores, but so we were only counting the top 10, and we were only scoring the top 10 toward the overall grand champion and reserve grand champion, right? So we go up and we do the barbecue awards, and it's a huge crowd.
And you had some really designated hitters on that one.
Just had some hitters, right? And they didn't win, and because everybody else after 10th was in 11th, right?
Right.
And what hung us up was we didn't have anybody walk 3. It's a 3 meet, and we didn't have anybody walk 3 times. We had 5, and we had 5 teams that walked twice. And since we weren't counting down below 10th, for the overall, it was like, hey, I'm sorry guys, but essentially everybody else is in 11th, right? We don't know where you are. And then there, some people were like, "Oh, I won. I know I won." I was like, "Man, I just don't know where you landed. You didn't get a walk-in chicken, and you were in 11th with everybody else. I was like, you guys." Yeah, but and then some people went on Facebook and had a few things to say about it, and I was like, no, nobody's going to tarnish our reputation or our integrity, and
right.
I was like, and I talked to CB, and I talked to Kevin, and I talked to a few other folks, and had already had it in my mind, and it really solidified it. That night, I went CB. I went over to cut CB his check, and the sun went down. It was dark, and I had made my way around. I was cutting checks, and I had checkbook in my pocket, and man, all these people just showed up on me, and I was like, oh man, they're gonna start pulling knives out on me. I was like, I'm far from
Texas, dude.
I was like, I'm far from home, and it's like, and I was like, so I was like, hey, let's get past this, and I circled back up a couple weeks later with Cliff Archer. I don't know if you guys know Cliff. He's from Pettis, and he's a pastor there in Pettis, and he cooks in South Texas a lot, and he came and called me, and we talked on the phone for like an hour, and he just really calming voice, and just was really just just a man of reason. And I reached out and talked to Brenda Waters, and reached out and talked to Fred Robles, and they answered all my questions. I said, do we have to open it? No. And can we still keep doing people's choice? And they said yes. I said, well, let's go with it, right? QR codes. Everybody knows where they fall. They get feedback. I mean, walk up songs, and we do that huge stage with a sound system. It's like 1,000,000 watts amps on those. I mean, when you play the walk up songs at our events, I mean, they hearing it for miles.
Right.
It's amazing, right? Light show and everything. It's like a party. It's pretty awesome. So, yeah, we're super excited to, get away from being nonchalant. And we kind of had to, right, with anything, I think, in business and in organization, both. As you grow and as you get larger, you always got to reevaluate, right? So now we're CBA sanctioned, and I really feel like CBA is in my opinion, it's the future for competition barbecue in the state of Texas.
Absolutely. I think in the nation, actually.
In the nation, man. I'm super excited to have them be a part of our organization.
Hey, man, so is there anything in the works for maybe like an open event or something like that for the Texas Bash at some point?
Yeah, there is. There's something on the back burner. I got something back there kind of simmering. I've spoke with a few folks about it. Not too much, because I know how the barbecue world is. People like to talk, and no, don't tell me, right? People don't like to talk, and I don't want to let the word get out. Somebody steal my ideas. You know how it is, patent infringement type stuff. We got something simmering that's going to be super, super neat. And
is there any news that you can let out?
Yeah, it's I can put it. Let's say crimson and burnt orange.
Crimson and burnt orange. No clue.
When it comes out, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Oh, man.
Kyle's over there laughing.
Yeah.
College football is the only thing I can think of, man. That's the only thing I can think of. I don't know what it is, but that's the only thing I can think of.
Hey, so why CBA, man?
Man, CBA, like I said, I mean, look who's a part of it. Like, I mean,
why not, huh?
Why not, man? Like, it's like, to me, like, I was kind of new in the game, right? 2020, I had literally never even been to a barbecue comp before in person. Like, had not experienced it, right? I knew of it. I had not attended one or cooked in one. And KCBS, right? It's north of here, right? I mean, IBCA definitely strong in Texas, Lone Star. But I really like CBA. The walk-up songs are cool.
Yeah, I agree.
QR codes?
Yeah. It's definitely
the transparency.
State of the art.
For sure.
I judged CBA before, and the way they handle that in the judging room, I mean, it's you can't compare it with anything else. So.
Hell, I had the pleasure of going to Fort Stockton a couple of months ago, and as being a promoter, and had ran a couple of CBA cook-offs, but I'd never had a chance to get into the judging room, so I went down to Fort Stockton a couple of months ago. When was that, Kyle? I saw you. You were down there cooking that.
Yeah,
that comp.
We were all there.
Yeah,
we were all there.
Yeah, I might have
Kyle wasn't
there.
Right. He wasn't there.
Yeah, I think Kyle got a couple of walks in that comp, didn't he?
Just maybe a couple. Yeah, just a few.
But I was able to get into the judging room back there, and help Brenda and really see the inner workings of it. I ran the music for the walk-ups and all that. And it was super fun, really educational. They got that. I was on the laptop that CBA provides Brenda, and you're locked out of it. The code, the software they have in it. Like I went down to lower left and tried to type in some script. You can't even get in it. Like they got it's locked down.
All locked down.
Yeah.
And that's what everybody says,
Yeah.
about the judging in CBA. So
yeah, super cool.
Awesome.
So after a couple of years, you got to have some good stories. Funny, serious, heartwarming. Man, you got to have a little bit of everything going in there.
For sure. So much. It's hard to pick one out. It's like. And really, one of the strongest memories I have is it really goes back to that very first event when we were like, it was right there. barbecue awards. We're closing this thing out. Had a successful event, you know, and was like, man, we've done something here. Like this thing, we're doing this. We didn't even know. We're like, are we gonna do this twice? You know, like, and we finished that first event. We're like, we're definitely coming back next year. You know, this thing's taking off. We got something here. You know, this is gonna be a hit.
Awesome.
Yeah,
awesome. So how did South Texas come about? I mean, if initially it was West Texas,
right. So you know how the patch is, right?
Yeah.
I went to South Texas for work. Went to the Eagle Ford. Company called, made an offer, and I packed up my bags and went to Carson City, and got down there and got to looking around. And I mean, literally was driving in there and drove through Lockhart, and it says barbecue capital of Texas.
Right.
And literally, like everywhere you look, left and right, driving down the highway, people got a barbecue pit mounted on a trailer. Everywhere. And I'd never been there before, right? It was my first time in South Texas in that area. And I was like, these people like to barbecue around here. and got down there looking around. I mean, I was ignorant, guys. I had no clue, right? And so, but I educated myself pretty quick. And I was like, I think we got the Kennedy, Carson City area, you know, like, hey, these folks use some help too, you know, so let's figure out a venue, and just went down that same check boxes, you know, and got with the local county officials and found a venue, and here we are. You know, we're doing 2 of these barbecue bashes a year, and I'm back out working in West Texas again now, right? Got another phone call, and actually took a layoff down there, and packed my bags and went. You know, where do you go when you need to go back to work? You go to West Texas, you know.
Yeah.
Yep.
So back out here in Monahans again. I actually stay there in Wink, you know, working in Ward County. So,
yep.
Man, you had to have some bubble guts going down there for the first time event, man. Like,
man, hey, it ain't nothing like going to North Dakota, and you don't know nobody when you get there.
Right.
You a resume and interview over the phone, and I say I can be there in 2 weeks, and you show up 14 hours, 16 hours from the house and don't know a soul. I mean, that was so going to South Texas wasn't bad. I already knew some folks down there.
Okay.
Man.
Awesome.
So to touch on that earlier, what you're discussing about the people's choice, can you tell us a little more about that, man? Like, so what's the people's choice?
People's choice, it's an open category. Like I said earlier, we created it as a no-touch event, you know, single serving appetizer type dishes. It can be like in a boat or a cup with a spoon, you know, just as long as it's a single serving appetizer type dish, brisket mac and cheese. We got some Louisiana folks that do jambalaya, all that Cajun flair type food, you know, jalapeno pot. It's a completely open category. Can even be a dessert, and can be liquid too. Some people do Tito's Punch. There's margarita machines.
Oh wow! They get creative with it.
Can get creative with it. I mean, it's anything under the sun that you can think of that's edible, and have fun with it and be creative with it, and really just bring your best. It's almost like I figured out, you know, at about a second or third bash that about half the teams are coming to win that overall. Like they're serious. They really want to win that overall. And the other half, maybe more like your backyard cook, right? They're a legitimate like oil and gas construction company that's never been to a comp, but they can cook some appetizers. They'll give it their all at the overall. You know, they never really slice the brisket up and box it up before, but they'll come up and have a good time and serve it to the public and have fun. So it's neat to see that, right? Like like your backyard cook, almost like a KCBS backyard style deal. Like people come have fun with it, and then you really got your guys that are serious about it. They want that buckle, you know, they want that grand champion. So it's a little bit, it balances it out for both, right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man, some good hardware there, huh?
Beautiful. So like some WWE type shit going on.
Yeah, buddy. So we're rolling forward, you know, kind of been going through the progression of Barbecue Bash from the beginning to where we are here to now, you know, and you know we've had people come and go with the organization, and you know, I think there was 5 of us in that room originally that came up with the idea. And I'm the last guy still here from that original group that's still a part of the organization as an officer or a member, and we recently had a gentleman step down. He was the director of operations, director of events, and you know, for his own personal reasons. It was obviously, you know, we thank him for helping us get us where we are today. It was sad to see him go, but he had his own reasons. But we recently, me there's 4 officers, myself, the chairman, a director, a treasurer, and a secretary, the officers of Texas Barbecue Bash. And me and the other 2 officers, we recently voted in an event director.
Oh yeah, who's that?
Yeah, it's well, as we're sitting here on this podcast, there's actually 2 officers of Texas Barbecue Bash on here tonight. Can anybody guess who the second one is? We know I am. Y'all Hernandez,
the Chicken Whisperer.
Welcome aboard, sir. The Chicken Wizard.
Well, congratulations, Kyle.
There you go, buddy.
Hey, congrats, man.
Wow.
Man, I was so excited when I got that call. You can ask Collin, and Collin called me about that, man, and I don't think I stopped thanking him or telling him how excited I was for probably 10 minutes straight, right? It's just such a great event. It's going to be so much fun, man, and it's going to be a lot of work, but it's going to be a good time, and it's an amazing cause, so, yeah.
It is,
You couldn't have a better ambassador, Collin.
Oh, I know, sir.
I mean, he's all about barbecue and Texas barbecue and barbecue in general. So
barbecue,
brother,
community.
do us a favor, put him behind a desk. You know, he don't need to be out there.
You don't need to cook.
Oh, it's exciting. We're excited to have him on board with us. You know, like I said, I've known him for quite a while. Had met him, years ago, back in 2017, 18, through the industry, and it's interesting how you are in life and you stay connected with folks. Being how the oil and gas, we meet so many folks that you see them once or twice and you never see them again for the rest of your life. And but you'll meet a few folks along the way that we were just talking about this not long ago. Like I was like, it's ironic how, I went to South Texas. I came back, but for whatever reason, I feel like the good Lord kept me and him connected. It's just been a trip. And then this came about, and it was just, this whole thing has been a real organic experience from the start. It's like it happens naturally. It's like it's just been small steps from the beginning, and it was just a great fit. It's Devon employees and community ambassador already, barbecue guy. It's like shit. A project manager like myself, we're gonna knock this thing out of the park.
No, it's gonna be a blast for sure, man. It's funny too, like you say, like we met and we worked together a little bit, and then next thing you know, like, hey man, I got a welding question. Can you help me out with this?
Yeah.
Or you call me, hey bro, what do you know about this? And just have that discussions and that relationship just for 5, 6, whatever years it's been, right?
It's been pretty cool, man. Yeah.
Yeah, Aaron said he loved the buffles. And then Brian said something about it was funny about the horse on South.
Yeah, you're gonna have to elaborate on that one.
The horse.
Yeah, it said the horse to South Texas last year. That was funny.
Man, I'll have to ask him about that one offline. The horse. I don't know what him and that horse was up to.
Like, how wild was this getting?
Oh man.
I'm sure your head was all over the place whenever you're at those events.
Oh, dude. I mean, I don't even got time to stop and eat People's Choice. People are like, did you try that? Shit, I ain't ate all day. I've been humped up, like work mode. So, yeah, running on adrenaline.
So we had another question up here, Collin, from Chase that I'll tell you later. It says, if I have a sponsor for the cook-off, what do they need to do as far as getting them entered?
Yeah, it's real easy. Just go to www.westtexasbbqbash.com. Right there on the homepage. Just go in there and there's links for volunteer signups, for sponsorship signups, for cook team signups. It's a super interactive website. Just go click on the link and enter your information. Hit submit. It couldn't be any easier.
Awesome.
Do y'all think y'all would cap off this year, or what do you think?
No.
Okay.
I got it. The site plan laid out for 50 teams. We had 41 last year, and we've been adding the progression, right? It's 26, 30, whatever, 36, 41, and we're growing this thing. So, we actually changed the venues this year. We outgrew the venue where we were at the arena. We've moved across town to a larger venue, and which would allow us to fit more cook spots and more cook teams.
Oh wow! So that seems like the bash has come a long way since
yeah, man.
2020.
Yes, sir. Even having to change venues.
I said that's when it's cool and it's real is when your venues just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah. Huge support of the community there in Monahans. The Chamber of Commerce is one of our largest sponsors there. You know, they're smart. You know, we're selling there's not a hotel room one that's available for that weekend. Everybody's booked out. You know, we're bringing a lot of commerce to town. Lowe's grocery, all the beer and liquor stores are selling out. It's like it's a hit. You know.
That's great.
Do you think y'all would probably like outgrow Monaghan's? I mean, because we all know Monaghan's kind of small. So
yeah,
what happens if you're bringing in 100 teams, 100 companies?
We'll have to cap it out.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's where we're rooted. You know, it's like people ask all the time, why don't you do this in Midland or Odessa? I was like, because Midland, Odessa's got plenty of events.
Right.
And we want to celebrate the small town, the blue collar. You know, out here in the patch. You know. Get out of the big city, and same thing we do in Carn City too, right? It's small towns, like it's that small the family. You know, we're going to affect these families directly with these events and donate money to their charities. You know, nothing against Midland, Odessa, but they got a lot going on over there. You know,
right.
And these smaller communities like Wink and Pyote and Monaghan's,
right?
You know, Fort Stockton, Kermit. You know, we want to celebrate that.
Absolutely.
You know, yeah.
That's kind of keeping it true to like the small town. That, you know, dedicated to that, just like you are bringing in like keeping it like to the oil field industry and stuff like that as well.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
So, Collin, Anthony puts on some event himself. He put on one on last year and stuff. But can maybe tell us a little bit about what it takes to promote an event like that to bring in all those cooks and great companies and stuff?
Yeah, man. You know, it's obviously a lot of it's word of mouth, but you know, we do a lot of marketing online, right? It's like you're doing here with Beyond the Smoke, right? It's Instagram stories, Facebook stories, posts, tagging folks, you know, like utilize all the free press, free marketing that you can get, right? But through social media, you know, and it's a challenge. It ain't easy. Like we have had nothing go viral, you know, like we work hard at it. And like any day you think it's going to hit, and you know, it's a lot of algorithms and stuff with that. But then too, like, we go out and we hang up flyers in all the grocery stores and gas stations. We do boots on the ground too, Mark. And we cover all bases: boots on the ground, social media, word of mouth. We are doing radio spots. We're doing interviews on the radio. I'm on this podcast right now. I mean, we got on TV. We're on News West 9 out of Midland. We do some interviews on TV. You'll see us coming up soon. We'll be on TV. We'll be on the radio. Like just marketing the tar out of this thing, you know, trying to get the word out.
Well, you know, everything around here is going to blow up, man, and the bash is definitely going to blow up if it hasn't already. I mean, it seems like it already has, but it's going to be one of the most premier events out here in Texas. So
yeah, man, yeah, we just as a promoter, the worst thing you can hear is after the event's over and you run into somebody like, hey, we didn't know anything about that. We didn't. I was like, come on, man. We work our tails off to get the word
under
out,
a rock.
Yeah.
Well, getting the kind of caliber teams that these companies are getting, you know, cooks. I mean, it's only a matter of time. I mean, you know, people like Quattro D Drums, you know, and
CB's an employee of the company that he cooks for, Premium Oilfield Services. He's Aaron. Man, Aaron.
Yeah, I think Aaron's coming an end transfer this year. I think what it is.
Nice. Yeah, man. He back-to-back grand champion, right? He won South Texas the first year, came out to West Texas, won it the second year, came back, won it again. I was laughing to him the day. I was like, "How many belt buckles do you have from Barbecue Bash?" He's like, "I think I got like 8 or 9, you know, 10 buckles." You know, I was like, "You got over." And I counted it up. I was like, "You have over half the buckles we've given out on your shelf. Period. of all the bashes." Like, it's ridiculous. But he showed up. He drove all the way from Pettis. You know, it's a haul to get out to West Texas. Shows up, minimal setup. You know, he don't have a big fancy cook trailer. Rolls out his drums. Little car hauler trailer, everything ratchet strapped down, unfolds everything, sets it all up, goes to work, you know, like puts into work and gets cold last, you know. Pretty proud of him. Family with him. Pretty awesome.
Definitely. Family man all the way. Yeah, I met the guy up in Hutto one time, and the guy was first class all the way.
First class guy, man.
Yeah.
Humble guy. I try to promote him all I can. He gets embarrassed by it.
Well, you know, Texas competition, teams and and everybody's gunning for everybody. So
for sure.
So,
but man, I know, man, I really love getting involved with the barbecue community, and it's just a family, man. I made so many good friends, and not necessarily oil and gas industry, but getting over, and I've been to some CBA comps, like meeting Bobby Delgado and Kevin and you guys and Kyle and Aaron and CB and like these guys I met at cook-offs that are, man, just everybody, right, is so amazing, so awesome. Nobody's out to get nobody. It's amazing the environment, the atmosphere that everybody's to help each other out.
One big family.
It's so awesome.
Well, one thing I wanted to do is I wanted to roll this quick clip. It's a 2-minute clip, and we got to give South Texas some love, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
Absolutely.
So let's roll this clip, and we'll be right back.
Hello, South Texas!
Going on vacation, got no destination, but you're next to me.
I'd say expect to have a good time. Everybody's real friendly. Everybody's real nice. They'll come. They'll share food with you. You share food with them. You come out here, you're going to be treated like family.
We got holes and the boat's gonna move. Got no money, but honey, our love's the truth.
A lot of people come from everywhere. My brothers came out from San Antonio, Houston, Beeville, surrounding areas. Cars is what brings us together, and that's a cool thing.
Fair lane, I'm gonna try to keep you smiling. Don't you worry about your problems. There'll be plenty more to find. I know it won't always be laughing. All honey is taking a while to decide. Would you love me in the fair lane? Would you be for me my bride? One day you'll see it and I'm hoping it's soon. One day you'll see me the way I see you. Sometimes I feel like the sun is chasing the moon. I feel the pulse between our fingers. Late in the night beneath the cedars. And we'll synchronize, my heart is beating to the tune of your lingering eyes. I feel the pulse between our fingers. Late in the night beneath the cedars. And we'll synchronize, my heart is beating to the tune of your lingering eyes. I'm gonna love you in the fair lane. I'm gonna try to keep you smiling.
Oh yeah.
Man, that's good.
That's awesome.
Brings
You
back
got a great
memories.
event going there, Colin. Man, that's awesome, man.
Damn. That amps you up for that song.
October 19th.
Nice.
Coming up soon, West Texas Barbecue Bash.
Wow.
Hey,
That
where do
would
we
be
get
like a
that badass
story
hat?
tell. Go for Kyle.
Where do we get them badass hats at?
You can get them on. We're working on an online store. Like I said earlier, it's like 2 full-time jobs. I've been trying to get an online store built for months and just hadn't got time to pull the trigger on it. But you can definitely pick them up at the event at the merch booth. T-shirts, caps. We got all types of merch: hoodies, shirts, pitmaster shirts. Hit up the merch booth, raffle tickets. Like it's the place to be. Yeah.
Seems like it. And I was gonna say that has to be like a fairy tale story for you, man. Coming from a one-on-one little shootout there on location to something that built, way bigger than you, way bigger than everything else that you got going on, man. I commend you for that, for sure.
Amen, brother. We got the Lord behind us, man. These things we're doing it for the right reasons.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, anything else, Colin? Anything else you want to talk about, or you think you cover everything for now?
No, man, just make sure you put it on your calendars. October 19th, 5th Annual West Texas Barbecue Bash. It's going to be a blowout.
Yeah.
Definitely. Do y'all have anything scheduled for South Texas for next year, 2025?
We do. Yep. Third weekend of April.
Okay, that's not too far. That'll be right around the corner too.
Yes, sir. I mean, it's right out of the fire into the frying pan. April 26th.
Not too hot.
I bet we push 50 teams there this year as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
everybody's coming,
there
everybody's coming for Bobby, dude. Everybody's coming. For
Everybody. Yeah.
Bring it, South Texas. Bring it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I appreciate you guys having me on, man. It's been a pleasure.
I appreciate you being on the show and
spend some time.
Man. Yeah.
Sure.
That's definitely, Collin. Thank you for your time, brother.
Yeah, man. Thank you, guys.
All right.
Thanks,
All right.
Colin.
Hey, thanks, Collin.
Later.
Dang, that was a lot.
Man, that's something. It's pretty good.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome.
Pretty good. That was a great show. Colin's a good guy, man. Good guy, and he's put on a great event, and that's something to look forward to for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
Have you
kind of
guys?
float the idea about like maybe making a Southern New Mexico bash coming on. Or something. Why do you hate on the Mexican?
Have you guys been down there and checked it out yet?
I haven't. I'm gonna try and get down there this year for sure.
No, I haven't been down there. I haven't been down there. I've always heard it, and I know Aaron cooked it last year. He reserved it last year, Aaron Leslie. So Texas Oil Dust reserved it, behind Aaron. So Aaron.
Yeah. And then when he said the date, just right now, the October 19th, that weekend,
yeah,
that's the weekend I'll be in Cypress cooking for Energy Transfer. So I'm just like, that would have been so cool. You would attend that. Yeah.
There's Kevin's looking for a sponsor.
You getting in there, Kyle? You gonna cook?
Don't work for us, Kevin. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Got some comments coming in. For sure, Brian.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Wow. To see you.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I might just have to go piggyback the case.
Yeah.
Hey, before we jump off here, before we get any farther, you want to throw up that those pictures I sent you from this weekend on my new toys or what? You got those? You got those handy?
I don't have them.
Appreciate it, kid. Appreciate it, bro.
Hey, thanks, Kevin.
Thanks, Kevin. No, I don't have them, but we could talk about it. So one thing we've been meaning to talk about is product of the week. So we've been having, and we always get, the show keeps going and we forget to talk about it, but we want to bring this up today. So our product of the week for today is going to be chicken caddies. What do y'all think of them?
Chicken
caddies. I haven't used one for chicken.
Damn, I was expecting expert charcoal, bro. Yeah.
We got to burn it first.
Yeah.
Thanks, Aaron.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
So yeah, I run a chicken caddy. I honestly think, it's more dishes you have to worry about, but I think it's critical to the way the chicken actually comes out. I know there's a lot of people who don't run them, but to keep that form is, I've had a lot of chicken. I'm sure y'all have that when you cook them, whatever they're cooking, they want to go either they want to blow out this way or blow out this way, or the leg goes like this, or
right.
You know what I'm talking about. And with my chicken caddy, it seems like once I set it, that's the way that's gonna be. So
it's really beneficial, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
man. I'm just too lazy, bro. So I'll use a little Walmart expert grill, the little wire mesh, and then I just form it how I want it to make it look the way I want it to.
Yeah, and for sure, it is a chicken caddy. You know what I mean? That's what you're using. So,
but them ones that Kyle got, and some sexy bitches right there, bro.
Where'd you get those, Kyle?
Man, I got those from Short Rib Drum Smokers. Man, that thing was quick too. I messaged him on Facebook. I said, "Hey, can you make me some of these? Because I seen somebody else had some made." And like 2 days later, he emailed me a design on it, or messaged me the design that he drew up. And like a week later, dude, they just showed up in my house, right? I'm like, holy, that was fast. But man, they're stout, dude. That's so like I was using the wire mesh too, man. You know, you go pick up your chicken or something, it's all curling on you and stuff. But they're stout, dude. They built it out of nice metal and stuff.
I look sharp, bro. Like it's built to last.
There you
I
go.
wish Sir had some pictures to throw up. They're nice,
Kevin. Sorry, man. Fucker got me.
Uh-huh.
I said, sorry, man. That fucker got me, man. Oh, the freaking Kevin. Expert real shot out. I'm like, yeah, great value, baby.
Oh, man. Well, that was a great show, guys. I mean, that was awesome. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Lots of great info, too.
Yeah.
What's that?
What we got for next week?
So next week, I got one of my one of my, how can I say it? Everybody knows him for one. We're gonna have Rini Gonzalez with Family Gonzalez Family Barbecue on.
Damn.
So I did confirm with him, and he is gonna come on the show.
Nice.
So Rini's the one that I talked to when I first got into competition barbecue. Just like, you know, we all probably didn't know nothing at the very beginning, and I knew Rini had been in competition for a while. And whenever I first talked to him back then, told him I'm going to do a comp, and he basically gave me the footnotes to do good, or to try and do good at least. I mean, he could tell you everything, you know, all day long, but you still got to cook the food.
Right.
So I'm excited to have Rini on. He's a, you know, class act when it comes to competition barbecue. So it's going to be a good show. It's going to be a good show. For sure.
Shoot, yeah.
Sure.
Looking forward to it, fellas.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
There you go, Kevin.
Shout out to our homie Tyler. You watching, homie? Proud of you, man. Great job this weekend. What's that?
What was that team
They
name?
did cook some badass chicken this weekend. Oh man,
that was an awesome name. Like Kyle was saying, what was the team name?
What was the team name?
3 sauce jalapenos.
Nice.
How you gonna do 3 sauce gringos, dude?
and 2 of them did get sauced.
That would have been awesome. Well, guys, we're an hour and 17 minutes into it. If anybody has anything else, are we good? Call this episode 4.
I think we're good, man. Hit
Cool,
that
man.
outro.
Let's do the outro and see when we don't forget this one. So
yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we appreciate y'all being on and sticking it out and listening to what we have to say. So we'll see y'all on next week's show.
Yeah, we'll see y'all next week.
Thanks, guys.
Later.
This is Parrish Randall, and this concludes this episode of Beyond the Smoke. Thanks for stopping by, friend. We hope to see you again real soon. Until next time, happy trails. Until we talk meat again.